more profound than the ones I just uttered. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Christopher Soden, a class of 2010 Writers Retreat Fellow in Poetry.
Well, damn it, I came here all the way from Dallas, Texas, and I left my party dress. Calling me embarrassed. All right, this first poem is called Green Valiant. Where was I when God was dreaming on the train to Kansas? Crooners of the 40s begging from his transistor radio, filling his ear. Where was I as he drove his green valiant from tent to tent to receive the blind and indigent, the feverish and the diseased? Where was I when he was waiting happily for anyone to share his gondola on the Ferris wheel, moon only beginning to slip from the branches of maples? Where was I when his cologne suffused the back seat, when he found the bars all the sailors knew but never discussed? Where was I when he dragged ragged as a kite on a dead cold Saturday morning in late winter, or floated like a cinder amongst the brick and dry steam of Harlem? Where was I when God skated molecules of water, their vibration too slow for anyone else to detect? Where was I when God read until the sun slept and hauled itself up again, too spent and cranky to greet the day properly? Where was I when God was tossing down bourbon, choking on oily tonic of old coffee, listening to Benny Goodman, painting the trees and mountains of Tuscany? Where was I when God was bathing, closing his eyes as the steam rose, lighting a cigarette and settling back? Where was I when God was shouting or singing or weeping or praying to himself or punching himself in the teeth? Where was I when God felt helpless or ridiculous, when sleep left him behind for days until he passed out even in sunlight? Where was I when God was slender and virile and angry and irresistible, when everything came into focus the instant my mother's hand touched his waist? Where was I when God left, his light still reaching me years after, like star glow, waves from his radio, sailing years of empty space, sifting into my bones? Thank you. This next one is called The World in a Book of Matches. This is the start of your life and the end. Nothing is just as it appears, though you have come to understand that face value, the apparent world, amounts to everything. You are waiting for your taxi. A storm is fermenting in the cluster of black clouds to the north. You reach into the pocket of a white dinner jacket you haven't worn since the previous spring and find yourself holding a red book of forgotten matches. They are a clue to your lost dreams. There is a name written jauntily on the front, the name of a club, Cicero's, some corny joint a friend from out of town dragged you to. Yeah, now it's coming back, where the waiters wear souvenir ties from Des Moines and ear studs. The singer is an androgynous albino with a crew cut who knows the words to Skylark in bad French. You despise these bohemian dives in the art district. You never believed you deserved the scrumptious boy across the table who's enjoying a shot of good bourbon with you and smiling without pretense. And eventually, we'll come to agree. But on this one cool evening in the early spring, he lets you light his Winston and invites you to join him while he visits the men's room in the way that men sometimes will. His question makes your ears tingle. He cannot ask you to dance because the book of matches was painted and printed and folded and cut and stapled by guys in a factory, in a town, in a state, in a country, in a nation, on a water planet, in a galaxy, in the universe, in the reckoning of God, where they don't strike that kind of flame, and it's not that kind of club. But none of this matters, because when you have the boy and the bourbon and the Winstons and the music and the question, and when you say yes, oh yes, then you take your life into your own hands, even if it only lasts a few moments.